Hi guys and welcome back to a new video. In today's video I will be talking about the War Within and I will show you how you will be able to basically craft some gold very easily by using this simple technique. So just a short disclaimer, of course what I'm going to show you is based on the beta and so it might change when the War Within will officially be released. So just keep that in mind because again, if it changes then this technique might not be as efficient as it is right now. So in the War Within, you will be able to get, as usual, some of the different Darkmoon decks. And these are BOE trinkets that you can craft very easily and then sell on the auction house. So these different trinkets are pretty interesting. They're not as powerful as in previous expansions, but they're still pretty good trinkets, especially when you're leveling up, because as you can see, they will be available at level 70. So definitely something that a lot of players will use also on their alt and simply to start raiding and doing Mythic Plus and all of that. Now, the difference with Dragonflight is the fact that in order to get these different Darkmoon decks, you will need to get all the different cards of the deck, and in Dragonflight, with Inscription, you were able to craft all these different cards, and then you were getting some random cards when crafting all the bundles of cards. And of course, next to that, you were also able to get some of the different cards when doing world activities, killing mobs, fishing, and so you basically add two main sources in order to get these different cards. Now, in the War Within, you will only be able to get these different cards when killing mobs and doing different activities, but basically you won't be able to craft these different cards like it was the case before. So it means that these different cards are definitely going to be a little bit more rare and definitely a little bit more expensive simply because again, people won't be able to endlessly craft them with Inscription. But here, this is where there is something very interesting that you will be able to do with Inscription. First of all, what you want to do is go here and unlock archival additions when you reach level 25 with the Inscription profession. And then you want to unlock this first trait right here. It will allow you to unlock one of the sub-specialization and you want to choose Cryptic Collection. And then here, from there, you will be able to unlock all these different Darkmoon sigils. So of course, in order to unlock all four of them, you will need to put 30 points in this Cryptic Collection specialization. And you will need to unlock two of them for the technique that I'm going to show you to work. So the first thing that is really interesting with these different Darkmoon sigil search specialization is the fact that, as you can see, when you put 15 points, you will be able to increase your ability to find Darkmoon cards by 50%. And so it means that you can do that 4 times in total. So if you are, for instance, putting 15 points in each of them, you will have 200% additional chance at finding Darkmoon cards with your character that has Inscription. Which means that definitely players with Inscription will be able to find way more of these cards and make way more gold with the different cards. Now, when you put 30 points in one of these different specialization traits, you will be able to learn how to transcribe some of these different cards into other cards. And so this is where it's really interesting. So here basically it means that when you have a card with you, so as you can see, for instance, I have this one, the 4 of Symbiosis, you will be able to transcribe it with the other one that you selected. So let's say, for instance, right now I took the Ascension one. It means that I will be able to transcribe this 4 of Symbiosis into a random card of Ascension. So as you can see, let me create it right now. And as you can see, I got the 4 of Ascension. And so here, if you only have one of them unlocked, of course, then you cannot do anything else with this 4 of Ascension because you won't be able to use this transcribe again. But if you unlock at least 2 of these different Darkmoon sigils to the fullest, so you put 30 points in 2 of them, then you will be able to reuse this one and put it back there and then transcribe it again into another random card of Symbiosis. And then you can do that again and again. And of course, when you will also have the other ones unlocked, you will then be able to basically do that again and again. And each time you can really choose which of the different decks you want to get a card from. Now, this is something that won't really do much other than just sometimes allow you to maybe get some of the better cards from the decks that might sell for a little bit more. Or also if you're, for instance, missing a specific card, you can try to gamble a little bit until you get it, and then you can form the deck and sell it on the auction house. But there is another very interesting item that will make this technique really profitable. And this item is this bag right here. And as you can see, this is the Darkmoon Duffel. Transcribing a Kazalgar Darkmoon card has a 5% chance to create another one. So this is something you will be able to craft with tailoring, and this is a BOE bag, so people will then be able to buy it from the auction house. And what it means is that when I am doing my different transcribes, I will now have 5% chance at creating a new one when doing this process. And so here, as you can see, this is something that you can do really fast. It doesn't take a lot of time. And with a 5% chance, it means every 20 transcribes on average, I should be able to get a new card. And then with this card, I can either sell it on the auction house or also transcribe it. So this is something that will basically allow players with Inscription to endlessly craft some of these different Darkmoon cards and to get a lot of them, and also to choose the ones that are the most expensive. Because again, sometimes some of the different decks are more or less useful, and so some of the cards are way more expensive. And also sometimes from the auction house, let's say if you want the like Ascension deck, maybe the 4 is going to be really rare, and so you're going to struggle finding the 4. Same especially with the different ACs that are usually the most expensive ones. So this is basically something that will be super useful, because like that, people with Inscription will be able to really make a lot of gold by simply staying somewhere and endlessly transcribing their different Darkmoon cards. And as you can see, you also have crafting speed. So if you can add even more crafting speed with you, you will then be able to do that even faster. So this is really something that I find interesting. I'm not exactly sure if this is what Blizzard is intending to do with this. Maybe what they will do is add a cooldown to the different transcribes, so you can maybe only do 10 per day for each of them. And so like that, it would really limit the amount of gold you can make and the amount of cards you can get from this. Or who knows, maybe this is what they want to happen and they just want to reward a little bit people with Inscription for unlocking all these different Darkmoon sigils. So still, let's see what exactly will happen in the War Within. But of course, remember, it might at some point change. Another important thing to remember is again the fact that sadly these different decks are really not as interesting as in previous expansions, and so I don't know if there's really gonna have a big market around all these different decks. Probably you will still be able to sell some of them and make some gold, but they're definitely not as powerful as, let's say for instance, in Battle for Azeroth, or even before that, where really some of these different Darkmoon decks were beast items for a lot of different players. So still, I think this is going to be an interesting thing to consider doing. And of course, next to that, you can always craft the different Darkmoon decks for yourself, and then you can craft the different Darkmoon sigils that might also become really profitable. So all in all, I think this is a very interesting opportunity for people with Inscription. And again, I'm really looking forward to see if it will stay like that. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. I will be back very soon with more guides and more videos. And in the meantime, I wish you all a good day. Bye.